Matty Googie's here with you once again. I'm up here near the county offices. I came up here to pay my registration on my home. Anyway, and I saw some activity on the signals. Probably the 905 heading southbound, so stay tuned. All right, Matty Googie's here with you once again. Here comes the 905 finally. Took forever to get down here, but he's cooking right along. I'm going to back off and get a wider view. All right. I don't know about the guns. Oh, by the way, there you go. All right, Matty Googie's here with you once again at my home crossing, State Road 206. And we got a train coming. I don't know what it is. Couldn't be the 905 come back already. Usually not northbound, it's late in the day. Let's see. I was gonna say the gate should go any second. And there they go. Ooh, what the heck was that? Anyway, sorry about the camera work, but you heard that. It's a northbound. That's our intermodal stock containers. Looks like, all right. Later in the day. Protocol, but he holds the horn long at the end. Anyway, thank you, sir. That's what I'm guessing. Yeah, look, tropical. The Tropicana. Woo-hoo. So bright, I know, baby. You know, let's walk out right to the end now. Well, no, I thought it was the end. Notice the deceleration as you're coming into town. This train is so long, you're starting to hit the, starting to slow down, so you get big speed by the restriction zone downtown. Anyway. Alright, there you go. Now I don't have to wait for the elusive 105. Boy, look at that sunset. Another great sunset here in St. Augustine, Florida. Zoom in a little bit, and I'm not staying here to watch the whole thing. Matty Gookers here with you once again at my home crossing, State Road 206. It's Friday afternoon. Woo! I came out here early because I thought maybe the train would be a little early, and I was right. It's just a hunch. It's not even 6:30 yet. The lights, the signal activity was started at 6, and the train's well on its way. Stay tuned. Can you see that red signal? I can't see it. I can see it with my binocs, but I can't see it in the phone. So anyway, the arrival of the 107 is imminent. Looks like there's something on the tracks, but could just be a shadow. No, there are people on the tracks. Possibly bicyclists. They're coming fast. Stay tuned. All right, so there's two guys down there, or a guy and a kid, and they came out right when the train was coming, so they're obviously rail fans. There's a lot of homes in that area up there. All right, so I'm going to get this view, and then I'm going to move to my left as the train gets closer. But I want to just point this out again. So these two connections here, so where the continuous rail ended and connected to the piece that goes through the crossing, they had to do connections. So there's a little gap, tiny little gap on each side. And you'll hear the clickety-click. Stay tuned. The ditch lights go down there and they blow the horn a couple times sometimes. It's not a crossing. But here we go. The 107 at State Road 206. All right, put the ditch lights on this. I'm going to move over. Alright, so Matty Gookers here at my home crossing, State Road 206, and we got something going on here. This northbound train is in the siding. I saw it when I got here. Now an FEC pickup truck has pulled up and gone down there. It looks like the train's going to stop, and maybe they're going to switch out a crew member, or it's most likely what they're going to. It's not a crew car. It was just a two-door pickup truck. But maybe they got to switch out one crew member. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, so the train wasn't in the siding. That was an optical illusion. Weird. And it doesn't seem to be stopping either. In fact, it sounds like it's picking up speed. Stay tuned. So that sound was something else, apparently. So they gotta be stopping. That crew truck, that truck is there. Remember, it's not a crew vehicle. But there are 3 guys there now. So they are gonna swap out the crew. So we got a crew change right here at State Road 206, Saybrook North. You can see it. All right, stay tuned. All right, so you ever film a crew change? I know a lot of people do. Oh, no way. So the train pulled up far enough for the gates to go down. When the train stops, the gates will go back up. It should. Yep, there they go. All right, so let's see. All right, there they go. Yeah, there's one crew member, two crew members. Crew change. This is unusual, but not unusual to do a crew change. Unusual for FEC to do a crew change here. Right on the main line. Sorry for the camera work. I'm trying to hold this thing zoomed in. It's harder than when it's not zoomed in. And it has that self correction. So maybe you're not even seeing that movement. Alright, well, I'm not going to film paint drying, but you see the guys, you see the train. When it gets going again, we'll film it. It was a crew vehicle, sorry. That 4-door, I didn't notice that. I thought it was a 2-door when I pulled in. New cars are usually cars, though. This was something unusual. Why is this an unusual crew change? Because there's less than an hour to Jacksonville, and there's no train leaving southbound until later today. So this crew member is going to work for an hour, and then I guess he could work in the yard. Maybe they brought a yard guy down here. But he can help this train get in and then work in the yard. Still not ready to roll. Yeah, it's moving. You see that little... did you see? I wasn't filming. Little sandblast. So does everybody know that? When you hear the trains pulling out, starting from a stop, you hear this little ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. It actually shoots sand onto the track to give the steel wheels traction on the steel rail. Did everybody know that? I didn't know that. I've known it for a long time, but I didn't know that when I first got involved in railroading. Okay, so it's definitely moving now. All right, so if I can manage to keep my trap shut, here I can actually film, play one of my kids' longest songs, maybe two. Maybe we'll get a double song. Let's see. All right, here we go. crew change right here at Saybrook North, State Road 206. All right, Matty Gookus out here with you once again. I wanted to go out to Hastings today for a festival. Did that, and with the complete intentions of continuing on to Palatka. Filming the auto train, which is where I am now. It's only about 2:30 though, and we got high green on the CSX line northbound for something else. Stay tuned. All right, and the southbound signals are red, so hopefully we see this train pretty soon. I don't know, other than the Amtraks, I don't know a whole lot about this line. I have filmed some freights out here, but the three, well, let's just go with the 2 passenger trains and the auto train, which is also a passenger train. Anyway, the 3 Amtraks run on this line, that's for sure. I definitely know that. All right, it's a passenger train. Woo! And he's cooking. So I was peeking down there. Speed limit here is 75 miles per hour. He's definitely doing all that. I'm winded, yeah. All right, so here's that train I just filmed down in Palatka. It was the 92, the Miami, New York. I got ahead of it at one point, and then it passed me, but here it is in the station at Jacksonville. I'm gonna move to a different spot and film it pulling out. All right, they got a fuel truck over there. Looks like they're topping it off. Let me step aside this way. Yeah, there's some people getting off here in Jacksonville. All right, stay tuned. They're gonna load the passengers, and then I'll film the train pulling out. Make a crew change here in Jacksonville. Those 3 guys all got out of the locomotive. There goes the fuel guy. So you're gonna be here for a little bit. All right, there's the Amtrak. There's also a CSX freight creeping down here. Coming out of the manifest yard downtown. Well, Jacksonville proper. That freight might not be coming all the way down here. They're building trains in there. Sometimes they pull out there a little past the Amtrak station. This one's not quite past the station, but then they back in to get another cut. Anyway, waiting on the Amtrak to depart. Should be any minute. We got the Norfolk Southern Yard right here next door. It's chock-a-block. Yep, it's coming this way. It's throttled up. See all the smoke? Now it's equal to the lead locomotive on the Amtrak, so he's coming. All right. I'm trying to hold this here thing above the fence without going over the fence and then dropping like all the way down there. I don't want to do that. So if we get if there's any little spikes in the picture, well, that's the top of the fence. Well, this could be intermodal out of the port, actually. It's like the intermodal. This is not the intermodal yard. It's not downtown Jacksonville. It's out on off 295. But they do service the port of Jacksonville, Glen Island, so they run out. See? Sometimes there's no difference, although all of it's been going out. Alright, here we go. CSX. Yeah. Crowley. Coming off the board. Alright, here comes the Amtrak too. Woo, we got a train meet. adjust my camera, even it too out. Alright, here comes the Amtrak. Should I pull out my passengers? This container transfer is traveling. This block will go over to the big yard over there. I just mentioned up to the drive and they get pulled out of Jacksonville. Running a little cut. Alright, here comes the Amtrak. Silver Meteor, heading for New York. Let's see if I can get this guy. Alright. On top, should I move over here? Sure, why not? Press the switch. I guess that's from a switch considered a diamond, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna film this whole container cut here. There's a bunch of empty cars and then a few more containers as you can see, and then there's a bunch more empty cars and that thing is doing a slow roll. So you get the point, you get the message. Alright, heading back out, getting in position for the auto train coming north. I'll give this another say. If he comes to a stop, I'm definitely not leaving. Or done. You can see the end of it. He's coming to a stop. So I'm gonna, when he stops, sign off. Matagoog's out here in downtown Jacksonville, Edgewood Road. Expecting imminent arrival of the auto train. Stay tuned. A Clay County Sheriff's Officer just checked on me. Thank you. Appreciate what you do out there. He was driving by. You're gonna say hi every time and ask if you're okay. In Florida. Alright, here comes the auto train. I hear the horn. It's gonna come around that corner or down there any second. Alright, it's gonna be loud. The gate iron's gonna come down behind me, in front of me, and then I'm gonna reach over it. Alright. This is Orange Park, Florida, by the way. I didn't even identify. Ortega Hill Drive. auto train out west. They're crazy. Anyway, there you go. Amtrak auto train from Orange Park, Florida.